Sometimes it feels like you just cannot get a break from life. As soon as you find some stability, try to enjoy a milestone, or get back into working on your dreams, everything falls apart. Suddenly, the worst news you could get hits you out of nowhere and crumbles your world. You need to evacuate your home, your job lays you off, your doctor says there is nothing they can do, your debt doubles, or it could just be as simple as not having money to pay for your basic necessities. What do you do then? Fall back? Give up? Crawl into a ball until someone fixes it for you? Unfortunately, we all know that no one is coming to save us. I'm alone in this, and so are you. But maybe it's not as grim as we think it is. The author of Walking Dead, who also wrote Invincible, by the way, I know, crazy, was on the brink of declaring bankruptcy because of how much debt he had acquired while working on his passion for comics. And we all know how Robert Downey Jr.'s story went, or Obama's, or Henry Ford's, or I can't think of any woman, and that sucks, but you get the point. It doesn't seem impossible to get out of the cycle of life being sucky and exhausting, but what does it take? How much longer and how much harder do we need to work for it? If I'm being completely honest with myself, I've been actually working to my bones only the past 6 months as I finally took my dream of drawing a comic seriously. I have never spent so much time, energy, and hope on a single project that I knew might not succeed purely out of passion. So be honest with yourself too. Have you actually been working real hard for your passion, no matter what comes your way? And second, I have personally been on the brink of being homeless like 3 or 4 times. But every time, through some sort of miracle and some crazy luck, the situation fixed itself. And in a lot of the success stories we read, there seems to be some sort of luck involved. But what if it isn't luck? What if it's something more philosophical and much bigger? What if things were meant to work out on their own without us having to force it? Of course, we still have to work really hard for things we want, but take me for example. I worked my bottom off to finish just 3 episodes of my webcomic for Webtoon's 2025 contest, and as I was about to get to work on the future episodes, my life has gone upside down. I might not have a home again. I'm in the midst of summer classes, working part-time to pay for food, and saving all my scholarships and student loans to pay for rent. And I have to spend every little time I have to continue working on my comic. Moving is simply not an option, especially that the possibility of finding a landlord who accepts full-time students is close to zero these days. So what do I do? What can I do? I'll tell you what I did before and what some cool success stories did. They just kept going about their life. Yeah, you heard me. When everything is out of your control, when there seems to be no solution and you've exhausted whatever avenue you could think of, that's when you should do nothing but keep going about your day. Kierkegaard calls it the movement of faith, an action you take purely out of believing in the absurd. So profoundly stupid and unexplainable, but somehow it leaps into redemption. And it comes right after giving up. You see, when you give up, you admit that you have no control and the situation is out of your hands. That's when you give space to miracles to happen. But the difference between getting that miracle versus never getting it is continuing on with your life as if everything will work out. You see, Kierkegaard argues that a lot of people can reach that ultimate defeat and find peace in the endless void of pain. But very limited number of people will continue to walk towards their calling with the immense pain without any logical proof and purely out of unshakable belief that things will work out somehow. He uses the story of Abraham and Isaac to prove his point. I bring you my story of still having a home and will continue to live my life as if I will forever have a warm and safe space to call home. No matter how much the finances are struggling or how unfortunate the landlord's decisions may be.
Guys, it actually worked. I found an apartment. I got these furnitures that are almost new for only a couple $100, and I didn't even get to the second round of Webtoon, so now I have time to do it my way. Here's to believing the impossible.